All right, guys. Hi.
Hey, Ben.
It's so good to be with you.
It's good to be with you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
You are so welcome. And I was listening to your new project, and I am just jazzed about it. It's a lot of great songs, I think I have a new favorite. And so we're going to talk about your new project coming out, and everybody's just going to love it. So I'm very excited for you guys. So tell me, how are you doing? You guys had a record release party, right?
Yeah, it was last night. It was awesome here in Orlando, Florida, and a bunch of staff from Daywin came down, and as well as friends and family from around the area, and some of our church members came as well. So it was a real good time.
Well, that looked fun. Now, I saw something with the little guy named Tape.
Right.
Ah, that looked like so much fun for him. I bet he just truly enjoyed himself.
It's awesome.
He's from Lake Mississippi, and we sang at his grandfather's church.
Oh, wow.
And so, and his mom does the music and stuff like that. And so we actually, when we sang at their church, we pulled him up on stage and sang with us there. So he's the honorary fourth member of Southbound.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, if I would have been that kid, I would have just been in hog heaven. So that was just so cool that you guys could do that for him. And maybe in a few years we'll see him out on the stage by himself. He did pretty good there. I was impressed.
Yeah.
So, well, let's get down. People are wanting to know a little bit about Southbound, and you guys have made a big splash last year, and I think you're getting ready to make a bigger one this year with this new project. So let's kind of get started. Okay. And I know you guys have been together how long now?
A little over 2 years now.
Okay, now I want to know, how long have you guys, the three of you, known each other?
Well, we've known each other. Jody and I met in around 93 or 94. And wow. Then we've been friends since then. And then right around, I think it was maybe 99 or 2000, we went and visited Pastor Clint's church here in Orlando. And then since then, we've just become friends. And
so you guys known each other quite a while.
Yeah.
That's cool. And you've been singing together only 2 years? Or have you been singing a little longer than that, just kind of not as Southbound? No.
We when we started this group, that's when we started singing together. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You guys, I have enjoyed listening to you. I've enjoyed what you've put out so far, and I'm looking forward to this new album. It is very well. I love it, actually. Okay, so Jody.
Yes, ma'am.
You say that you have some groups from the 70s that have really been big influences on you. So tell me about that.
Well, it was probably really one group the most. It was the Hensons. Kenny Henson had a huge impact, and I had an opportunity to meet him just a few years before he died. And I just, his music and the Hensons all together influenced me the most growing up. I sang every one of their songs. And that's what introduced me to Southern gospel, really.
Wow.
My family, and man, we were going down the road. I forget where we were driving to, but Pastor Clint and I, we pulled up one of their old records, Lift the Roof Off. And we were singing to that going down the highway. So.
Oh, that's so cool. The Hensons, they were great. I grew up with the Hensons as well, so that was really some good music back then. Okay, so Clint, let's run over to you real quick. Now, you've written a ton of songs and over the years, and this album, you've written all of them or most of them?
No, I wrote I think it was 8 out of the 12, and then I wrote 2 on there, and then 2 of them are from different writers. But I did
Okay.
write 8 of these songs on this album. And yeah, I've written so many songs. I mean, with 23 praise and worship albums, you better be writing. So
You better have a few up there.
yes, I've written a few.
Just
I'm enjoying this.
I bet you are. It's really different than what you've done in the past.
Yes.
But and I have followed you for years, so I can say that. But it's always been good. So tell me, approximately how many songs really have you written? Do you think?
600 probably total.
Wow.
Over the years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, Seth, your turn.
All righty.
Let's see. Are you a worship leader?
I'm the worship pastor here at Judah Church in Orlando, where Pastor Clint is the senior pastor.
That's what I thought. There's a connection all around here. He doesn't let you get very far. He holds you close.
That's right.
That's good though. So you are in Orlando, and Jody, where are you living? Are you in Orlando too?
I grew up in Georgia and in the Atlanta area, and I'm still living there. Yes, ma'am.
And you're still in Georgia?
Yes, ma'am. The back-to-back champion Georgia Bulldogs. I just want to say.
Oh, well, hey, go Bulldogs.
Yes.
He hasn't gotten smart enough to move back down to Florida.
He hasn't gotten there yet, but he's getting close, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, might as well. I've been here the last 3 out of the 4 weekends, so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, man, is it cheaper just to, pack it in and move over?
The state where the sun is the light.
Oh, well. Yes, but then you've got a few other little things that take place, like, high winds and a lot of water.
Well, I know.
Actually, I'm sitting here with a tornado watch. So what do I have to say?
Oh, right.
So here we go. Hopefully we don't get blown away in the middle of this. But okay, so all 3 of you, let's just go there. You've got you wonderful trio sound, and what exactly what made you guys want to do this, create a trio and get into the Southern gospel world from the praise and worship?
Everybody will remember being quarantined, back during COVID.
Yeah.
And Jody was visiting Seth on a weekend, and I said, hey, come over to the house. And, because we knew that people were really it was that point where people were just sick of being in their homes and not being able to go anywhere. And I said, let's sit down and minister to people. And the thing that really I think was a God moment was that every time I sat down at my piano to sing, I sang songs that I wrote. I sang, when you have 3 albums, you got a big, list of songs you can do. And always get on there and say, sing this song, sing Zion, sing I Want to Be More Like You, sing, You Are, whatever. And that's what you want me to do. And I said, but you know what, let's sing songs I grew up singing, and we sang all these old hymns. And before we knew it, I think it was Jody, he said, it's like that night, Jody was saying, guys, we got 10,000 views on this Facebook Live. And then all of a sudden, a little later on, Seth goes, hey, man, we're at 17,000 views. And before it was over with, we were over 150,000 views and of songs I grew up singing, which had nothing to do with songs I had written. But it was kind of like, oh, this is what people were loving from us. And so maybe this is something we ought to consider. And we took it as a joke right at first. We called ourselves 2 dogs and a tiger. I'm LSU and they're Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Joking around. But then, we just really said we ought to pray about this. And we did. And so we decided to go forward in this and look at God,
Exactly. Look what God has done. And I'm glad that you guys did it. I even, like I said, I've enjoyed the praise and worship side, but I am enjoying this new stuff that you guys are putting out so much. And I know many people are. Now, you've had 3 songs in the top 10 off of your last album.
Right.
And so how many number ones do you think you're going to get out of this next album? Did you get that? I just skipped top 10. We're going to number 1.
No kidding. We all 3 have listened to this thing so many times, and it's hard to find a bad song. I mean,
oh, I'm telling you,
it's like a journey. It's like from the first song that the 3 of us wrote together all the way to the last song, "You Are God," which is a powerful worship song. It's like you go on a journey, and it's just I can't find a bad song on it.
And
I'm with you.
We decide what goes on the album, but it's people like you that decide what comes out of it. And so, when people ask us, how many number 1 songs you think you have on it, we say, well, how many do you think? Because we didn't do this album to have number 1 songs. We did this to minister to people, touch people, and change lives. And it's going to be people like you. I mean, I'm not saying that to be funny.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, it's DJs and radio stations. So all we can do is put that ministry out there, and then you guys will decide what those songs, what's the outcome of those songs.
And that leads me to my next statement or question, however you want to put it, because I've heard you say over the years that that your desire is to bring healing, restoration to the hurt and the broken. And I think that is what this album talks about so much for you guys. And that's still your desire. I mean, it comes out in your music. And
I think that's something that we always focus on in our concerts. It's not, we don't refer to them as shows. We talk about it as, it's ministry. And we always spend time sharing our testimonies and encouraging people. And, I always hope that people feel that their hope is restored and that they're encouraged after listening to our music, or especially hearing us live, as we travel.
And that's really cool. I was listening earlier, and that Nothing He Can't Do, that's a great song. But the one that really ministered to my heart today, just because I was in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
I love that, because so many times, people feel like, they have no place to turn, or they're stuck in this hole of life, and they don't know they don't have that answer, and they just need to know that God is right there in the middle of nowhere. I just love that song. Love that.
I'm gonna agree with you, and that's one of my favorite songs, and I think it's because I think you can be in the middle of something, and it could either be in the middle of a situation that you don't know how you're going to get out of, or you could be in the middle of something and it could be a waiting season. I think we spend a lot of times of our lives in waiting seasons, and I think that song is just encouraging to people to know that no matter where you are, in the middle of wherever you are, God can meet you.
Yeah,
and He can make a way, or He could just bring peace to the situation while you're in the middle of it.
That's right on, because sometimes people are going through sickness, or they're just going through hard times in life, or they're just going through a change, like you said, in the spiritual walk of like God's moving you in a different direction. You're like, okay, I'm not quite sure which way I'm supposed to go here, so I'm just going to sit, and I'm going to wait till the door opens really wide. Yeah. And then I'll go, so that is really good. But there's so many songs, Lost and Found, the name of the title of your album and everything, and the project. That's like, we got to hear the preview of that a few months ago, and that went over like gangbusters. And so I can't wait till the people can hear all of this and the release of the album. You guys are great. It's always fun.
They love you, Bev. Thank you for having us.
All right, everybody out there listening and watching on Absolutely Gospel, our record release and with Southbound, oh my gosh, it's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it. You got to get your copy, download it, buy it, however you're going to do it, get it. It will bless your heart. And I've got Seth, Jody, and Clint right here next to me. Believe it or not, it looks so close, but yet so far. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming on and sitting around the table with me. And we love you guys, and we expect great things that God's doing in your life and in your ministry. So blessings to you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Bev. God bless.
God bless. Thank you. Until next time. This is Bev with Absolute Gospel and Southbound.